been a minute, big homie. Man, you right, man. You look good. What you been doing, man? You swole. How you doing, bro? What you up to?
Still hitting my weights, you know, working and taking care of business. But you look good too, man. What you up to, man? Why you in the mall today?
Actually, we looking for this little print shop. I heard me and her.
A print shop? Hey, man. I print shirts.
You mean to tell me you got a legit business?
Man, I'm legit, bro. I have a business license. I got a tax ID number. I got a website, man. I'm on the net, man. I'm good, man.
Nice, Simone. You can use him for your family reunion shirts. And also, my son's school is looking for a company to print their basketball t-shirts. All they need from you is your name, your company name, and your tax ID number for tax purposes.
Man, Simone, I always did say you had good taste in women, boy. Good afternoon, YouTubers. Glad you tuned in. So, you want to be a legit business? Cool. Let's talk about it. The advantages of being a legit business are tremendous. The disadvantages of being a legit business are kind of minimal, as long as you're doing good business. Okay, let's talk about the types of businesses as far as you beginning your business. Okay, we're going to talk about three structures. Okay, one structure of beginning a business is the sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is, and some of this stuff's going to be on the screen so you can see it. Okay, a sole proprietorship is basically you, an individual, wants to start a company. Okay. The good part about that is it's just you starting a company doesn't take nothing but a little bit of paperwork. I'm going to show you what that is. And some of the disadvantages of a sole proprietorship is if you get sued, they're going to sue you and not the company. You are the company. You're not separated from the company. You are the company. But in the t-shirt business, it's what we're here for. Very rare that someone's going to sue you for a bunch of money because you gave them a bad t-shirt. So don't trip too hard. Sole proprietorships work. That's what I do right now. And you claim it as your income. If you work a second job, which I do, my main job, and I do this as my part-time business, soon slowly becoming a full-time business, all the income is reported as one income. The other type of structure would be an LLC. An LLC requires a few things to do which are really easy. Don't pay anyone to set up your LLC. We'll talk about the LLC. You can go on YouTube, look at videos. People will show you how to set up an LLC. There are certain structures and certain papers you have to set up. LLC is a limited liability corporation. It means exactly that. Limited liability. You're liable for limited amounts of things. Someone sues you, guess what? They can't sue you personally, have to sue the company. Okay? The company goes bankrupt, guess what? The company goes bankrupt, not you. It's all the company. You've separated yourself. Yet, it's all reported as one big income. LLC is really probably the most popular ways to go in this business. I do shows. I go out on the road. As I proceed forward in this business, I will change my structure to an LLC. Because if someone falls, trips out there in my booth, then guess what? I don't want to be liable for paying for that broken toe. The company can pay for it. They can't sue me, they can sue the company. The other structure would be an S Corp. An S Corporation, which has shareholders, certain rules and regulations. We'll talk about that later. You can go on YouTube actually and look up all that stuff. Then they have a C Corp. But for the purpose of this video and the purpose of what we're doing, t-shirts, LLC, and sole proprietorship are really two of the big ones that you want to really be looking at. So we're going to talk about setting up a sole proprietorship, setting up a business. Now remember, I don't know where you're located, but every state, every city, every county has different rules. I'm from Northern California. California has a lot of rules. Okay? And California requires different things for businesses to set up. Just going to tell you what I had to do to set my business up. You can go online, wherever you're located, whatever city and state you're located, and look up, go to the state government, the city's government, and go to business licenses. And they're going to tell you exactly what to do. Okay, and they give you the checklist, and they'll give you all the information you need. They will even have the paperwork, the business license application that you will fill out. Okay? Let's go through some of it. This is for the office use. Don't worry about that. As well as that. Part you're going to deal with is here. Your business name. DBA. We'll talk about DBA. Doing business as. We'll go to that next. For instance, if you are a t-shirt printing company, but the name of your t-shirt printing company is, for instance, mine is Tees for Less. Hopefully you won't be Tees for Less. But if you are a Tees for Less also, then that is doing business as. That is a fictitious business name. Okay? Phone number, P.O. Box if you have one, state, California business, mailing address, and these things here, the property address, because this is a home-based business. Property owner, if you don't own that house, you put the name of the person who owns that house. A parcel number is basically for the post office. If there's no certain number they use for delivering your mail and so forth, don't worry about that. Okay? Business activity description. Put the description of what you are doing. Okay? That's very important. Now, if I put screen printing chemicals and got all this stuff going on in here, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Might not be, if you're doing that at a home, you may not be zoned to be using a bunch of chemicals like that. Okay? Are you Chamber of Commerce Green certified? California is a green state, which means we are very environmental conscious. So if you registered as that, then you will put that. I'm not. Even though I am green, I don't deal with chemicals and so on and so forth anymore. Okay, the square footage of your business facility. So that is the amount of space you're using for your business. You want to put that in there. If you have a 2,000 square foot house and you're using maybe like 500 square feet of it for business, you put that in there, okay? And a lot of this stuff is used at the end of the year for your tax write-offs. If you are doing something like building or plumbing or painting, your contractor's license, if you're a screen printer like we are, you don't have to worry about that, okay? Seller's permit. Seller's permit is when you are going out on the street and you're doing different things. I have went out and did different shows. I have to go apply for a different seller's permit, okay? So I put that number. You put that number if you have a regular seller's permit, okay? But if you're not doing it regularly, you don't have to worry about it because you're going to register your seller's permit with the city when you go out and do like a 1 week show. At the time you make the business license, you may not be doing that. So at that point, you don't worry about it. Your federal tax ID number. That is something we will talk about. If you don't have it at that time, don't worry about it, but it's good to have a federal tax ID number, which I will show you where to go to get that at. Okay? And then you check your single owner, a partnership, a corporation, LP, LLC, trust. We talked about these. You're a single owner, you're just a sole proprietor. If you're a partnership, you're a dual proprietor. It's two people running the business, okay? Put the owner's information, your driver's license ID, and your social security number, driver's license number, all this stuff. And page 2 is basically if you are an LLC, you'll talk about the officers and the members of the LLC, and so on and so forth. If not, you put not applicable. Okay, really easy, and you can send it right into your city. Now, where I'm at, I actually went in and filled this thing out personally. I copied it. I get off the internet, but I filled it out personally. Gave it to my business license people downtown. At that point, I take that license, and I'm required to go to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission is who lays out where businesses are placed. They plan where businesses go. When I went into the planning commission, they asked me what I was doing. I said, well, I was printing, I was doing this, and I went through a lot of stuff, okay? Because they said, what kind of chemicals are you using? You know, you're not zoned for that. So it could create a big problem in California. And I did that and had to pay a little extra when I first started. That's when I had to rethink the business. Why am I paying this much? And I think we talked about that in an earlier video where I can figure out, you know what, I can have somebody, I can do screen printing without actually having chemicals in this house. And I did that. But at the time, I had to go to the planning commission. They had the fire department. They had the different divisions. Each one had to check you off. Once you get checked off, you take that business license paperwork back to the business license people, and they say, okay, you know, we're going to grant you the business license. So your tax ID number is basically is your the number given to you by the state. This is a city license right here. We're going to talk about the state licenses. State licenses is a federal tax ID number. You go to the California Tax and Fee Administration, and they will issue you out a license number and a tax ID number. What are the advantages of that? So now I can go into a company that deals with only business, who sells wholesale products, and I can buy those products from this company without paying any taxes. I have a warehouse that I deal with when I purchase my shirts. I purchase these shirts without any type of paying any type of taxes, and they only deal with company to company. So it's quite advantageous. They give you a catalog. They give me an online catalog, which I put on my website. So having a tax ID number is great. Of course, at the end of the year, you must keep record of how much material you purchased, because they're going to charge you for the taxes that you didn't pay. California right now, 2019, it happens to be 9% California sales tax, which means I tack on that tax to each one of my customers' orders. I don't tax them for the labor. I tax them for the materials that I use for their job. Okay? But once again, some companies won't deal with you unless you have a tax ID number. You can go buy things really wholesale, great things at a good price for a low price because you're not paying taxes. A lot of schools and a lot of big companies will not deal with you unless you have a tax ID number. Okay? Because they want to make sure that you're legit, that you're on the board, that they can write you off at the end of the year. It's a very great advantage. I haven't covered everything, but I would say from when I first started business, when I started legitimately. Being a legitimate business is much more advantageous than not having a legitimate business. You can get some great contracts that you wouldn't get if you was just a person without a business license or just a hobbyist. Okay? And because you have your business license, you will have to step that game all the way up. It's probably good to start as a hobbyist if you've never done this before. Or if you're still studying how to do this and you're still learning. I learned how to do this from YouTube and hands-on. But as you mature and you want to make some good money and you want to do it out of your house, keep that overhead down, it's awesome. It's an awesome business. And yes, there's a lot of people doing it, but there's a lot of people doing a lot of things. But to the one who's strong, keep learning, want to succeed in this, there's great money in this. Great money. Okay? So until we talk next time, thank you for tuning in. God bless you.